presenter. Here is your host, Scorch.
To Scorch's PFG TV. Oh my God.
Hello,
hey man, can you believe we're like almost into Thanksgiving? We're gonna talk about that. Let's start the show. We're busy today. Yeah. You know, I've realized the best part of the show for many people is seeing me walk back to my chair because they get to see my backside for a good 5-6 seconds.
What a bummer-kissimus you have.
You know what I mean? Thank you, man.
Holy smokes.
So what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving's like just around the corner. It's scary as crap.
Well, I'm going to be going on to your favorite guys, Dwayne Johnson.
Are you really?
And I'm going to be having turkey dinner with his mother and his daughter and Dwayne and my daughter, and we're going to have a great time.
I mean, for those that, can I bring it up again? For those that don't know very quickly, Sibby's daughter is dating The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. I mean,
and you know what? I'm going to talk to him and see if I can get him to come on the show.
There you go, The Rock. Let's go to PFG TV.
All right, when he comes up here, all right?
Yeah, you do that. That would be amazing. God bless you. And what about...
I'm also going to try to get Santa Claus on the show.
Okay, yeah, that'll be good, you know. That'll be
Easter Bunny. Come on.
What about the Hanukkah bush? You know, we got to represent as well.
Oy,
what are you doing for Thanksgiving already, Shelby?
I'm leaving my family and going with Sibby.
Good for you. I do what I do every year. I drink a thing of Lipton cup of soup, and I sit at home and say, why don't people like me?
Turkey cup of soup, though.
I do turkey.
Just as good as the real.
You know what? It's without a doubt.
Just as good.
And by the way, Lipton, if you'd like to advertise on the show, Scorch's PFG TV. So we have a busy show today. On the show today, Paul Westcott is joining us. Paul,
give it up.
You know how I do the afternoon show at Rock 101, rock101fm.com, 2 to 7 every weekday afternoon. A Clear Channel station, iHeartRadio.
You hired?
But Paul works in our sister station, which if I could, I'd have incest with it because it's that
good.
It's that good of a station.
That good.
Paul Westcott also does stuff with Nancy Grace on CNN.
No kidding.
I watch CNN.
He's a wise guy.
You know, so we're going to talk to Paul Westcott a little bit. Plus, on the show today, musician Gil Correa is going to be joining us. And coming back to show us some healthy dishes for the holidays, it's our pal, Chef Desmond Keefe, you know what I mean? But for right now, let's get into it with our segment called Weird News. Shall we do that?
Bring it on.
That's my final story. You don't start the thing off with finally. That should tell the tale right there.
You really got to have the finale, that boom.
I hope it's a good story now because if it ain't going to suck.
You built it up. It better not suck.
Everything sucks, man. Have you not watched any of these shows?
Are they still giving you trouble in line at the Burger King?
You remember that?
Yeah.
Well, because people are like, hey, I say, I'm glad you brought that up. When I say, do you want burger or fries with that, how do people know that that's me?
Right. Why do they have to say, you know,
what I mean? Hey, man, watch PFG. Watch the show, dude. I'll take a Whopper, hold the mayonnaise.
Right.
It's like, what the hell's that?
Right.
And I only do that so I can pay the crew here because bands like Grassroots don't play for nothing, you know what I'm saying? Nor do you deserve to because you're good. I'm still bleeding all over my papers. Earlier today, I shut my finger in the door and I'm bleeding from it. I hate to tell you what finger it always is today. Police in Alexandria, Virginia, I'm trying not to bleed on myself, have a strange case of animal abuse on their hands. 57-year-old Clarence Johnson has a strange fetish. I don't really want to get into what he did, but let's just say...
Something to do with Johnson?
No, but let's just say it gives a new meaning to dog bone. Yeah. Cute, man. Don't knock it till you try it, Shelby. What the hell?
My dog's little.
You've tried every other animal, Shelby. Why are you booing a dog? What the hell? John Vincent, by the way, Shelby, ladies and gentlemen. You'll know her. You'll see in National Enquirer she's suing Scorch for sexual harassment. You'll know that. John Vincent Caruso of Daytona Beach, Florida, doesn't like when his girlfriend cusses. As a matter of fact, he hates it so much he's now in jail for allegedly washing her mouth out with soap. Caruso's girlfriend, Stephanie Madewell, said she had had enough. She finally called the cops. When the cops got there, she had indeed had Irish Spring shoved down her throat. Police questioned him. He said that her job has a lot to do with the bad language because Stephanie is a stripper. And she comes home cursing all the time.
Her stripper name is what, Bubbles?
Her stripper name, does that not say it right there? Her
Bubbles!
Her stripper name is Bubbles.
Man. Where's our psychic? Where's our psychic? What's her name?
Good thing her name wasn't Gunshot Sally, huh? And finally, 33-year-old... Well, you know what? I got rid of 3 co-hosts in the past for doing that to me, man. You know what?
Pulled it right out from under you, didn't I?
And all the other ones have had 1-syllable names. You got a 2-syllable name, it'd be easier for me to pronounce. Figure that one out. 33-year-old David Stanley of Sheboygan, Wisconsin, is in trouble for allegedly assaulting his girlfriend. Oh, man, I read this story on the air recently, too. After a night of drinking, his girlfriend said she wanted some of his wood. So he gave it to her, right across her face. He took off his wooden leg and beat the hell out of her with her face. He's now facing attempted murder charges, and the police took the prosthesis as evidence. So now, when it goes to court, say it, Sibby.
He's hobbling?
No, he doesn't have a leg left to stand on. So there you go. Okay. Thank you very much. And there you go. That's Weird News today on Scorch's PFG TV. Coming back, we're going to talk politics with Paul Westcott live on Scorch's PFG TV. We'll see you in a second, Grassroots. Grassroot. GrassrootBand.com. And soon enough, you're going to see us from we have a Scorch's PFG TV Fest coming up. Actually, you're going to see it live here on the show. Played for us just a couple of weeks ago. We had Smile Empty Soul. That was amazing.
How about them?
And we had the band Hurt, Bam Margera from MTV.
Real good. Yeah.
But we're going to show you that in just a couple of weeks, so don't you worry about that. Right now...
You know, you're turning into a regular Lawrence Welk with the band here. You notice that?
Oh, you like that? Yeah, it's coming good. Yep.
Really? You're picking right up.
And all we're missing is what? Bubbles, of course. Thanks,
the bubble
man.
machine.
So why don't you just supply the bubbles since you blow all my jokes?
I'll vum in the tool.
You know, well... No, you don't blow all my jokes, excuse me. Hey, you know, it's the political season, and I can't wait because I've got my things, but I'm
Romney?
I'm one of these people.
Obama.
I'm one of these people that believes, even though I vote, I vote. I believe that my vote really doesn't count because.
Oh, don't be like that.
Because the thing, you know what? But I'm going to talk to this guy about that and much more. It's our pal Paul Westcott, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Westcott, come on up here, Paul. Good for you. Have a seat, man. Now, Paul works at our sister station. By the way, I work at Rock 101, rock101fm.com. Paul, what's your website? I do 2 to 7. Paul does 6 to 10 in the morning.
And what time are you on?
5 to 10 in the morning, right?
That's right.
Yep. See, they make you work. They make you work that extra hour. Me 5 hours.
Exactly.
So,
You only get paid for 2 of them.
You know, you get paid for 2?
Yeah.
See, they're really nice to you, man. But you work for more stations than I do. Yeah. So you work for the AM station, and you also work for iHeartRadio, and you do stuff for CNN. You came in, and I say this all the time, you got your crap together. You're a young kid, and you came in here, and you do a lot of stuff, and you're heavy into the politics, obviously. Sure. Who's going to win a presidential campaign this year?
That's the most asked question. I mean, right now it looks like Romney, but you never know.
Yeah?
I do think Romney right now, but you never know with these things.
And why do you say that?
I say Romney because right now he's got the lead in Florida, he's got the lead in Ohio, he's got the lead in New Hampshire, so right across the board there, those are the swing states. Swingiest swing states.
Is it, and in your opinion, I mean, granted, you're not really allowed to give your opinions per se, although you do, but is that a good move for the country or a bad move for the country?
Oh, well, I would say that...
Although that's going to say who you would vote for.
Yeah, it says who I'd vote for. Well, I am opinionated. I'm on a station with a few guys named Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck. So
Name drop.
I think you know how they lean. So if you know how they lean, that's kind of the tenor of my show. So I would say Romney would probably be a better choice right now, given the last 4 years and what we've seen and the problems we've had. So
the whole gas price thing, that's enough truly. If that doesn't, sway things in one way, then this country's more messed up than it looks like, because the gas thing is really, that's pretty much, other than the wars, I mean, there's so many topics right now, but the gas thing's big, housing is still big, the overseas war is still big, and you'll know the inside scoop. When are they going to legalize the crap, for crying out loud? When are they going to legalize marijuana, man? What the hell?
That is actually on the ballot in about 30 states across the country this year. So we're going to see legalization of marijuana, and actually in a few states, prostitution as well. So
yeah! He just played with his G string over there. That was good. That was
great.
Nice. And by the way, the first live prostitution show will be here live at the Tupelo on Scorch's PFG TV. Okay, so the country really, as you see it on a better basis than I do, because you're in the news thing. The country's a mess. I mean, face it, the country's a mess, right? Will either president really, or will either candidate really help this country out?
That's the hard question. Either way, they're going to get in. They're probably going to have a Republican House, Democratic Senate, and a Republican White House. So, or it could be any combination of those three. If you don't have them across the board, there's really not much you can get done. And even if you do have all three, there's not much you're going to get done anyway. So it's gridlock nation, and that's what we've become.
It's awful, man.
Yeah.
Did you see after the first presidential debate, there was a deaf guy that was a lip reader that translated what they were saying to each other when the family. Did you see that?
I did.
When the families were like hugging each other afterwards, and one of them said, "How's your mom?" and one of them was like, "Oh, the family's great," and everybody knew that it was going to be like this. And it's such crap, because they're both, when they're backstage or driving away, Romney's family is saying to Mitt, first of all, hubby and daddy, you got a strange first name, and then then they're saying, what kind of bull crap was that? Like, we really care that his mom is eating, Canadian down the street.
Did you see that the vice president, though, tried to hit up the other party for a roach on the way home?
Good for him.
He says, yeah, you got a roach on the way home?
Well, that's because he lives in one of those 30 legal states,
That's right.
What else is messing up this country? Tell us more. Like, what would change this country for the better in your eyes? Because you deal with this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're just overstretched right now. There's a lot of centralization going on in the country, in which I think there's a possibility. I mean, we do things in New Hampshire a certain way, Massachusetts does things a certain way, and across the country, each state to their own. So I think that's something that a lot of people are looking at both sides of the aisle and saying maybe we should get back to that. Yeah. And if we get back to the states on that level, as opposed to the centralized sort of government.
How about this? I'm just going to toss this out to the audience and to the PFG disciples and the TV audience. Thank you for joining us, President Westcott. How do you think of Paul Westcott? At least I know I can roll a doobie in front of her and ain't going to bust but the country, let me ask you this. We'll put it another way.
Sure.
In our lifetime, I mean, you're a little bit younger than me, myself and Sibby. In our lifetime, in the next 20, 30 years, is this country able to get back to where it was 10, 15 years ago?
Absolutely.
It can be.
100%.
Yeah.
It can get better.
Well,
always remember that. It can get better.
Legalizing the pot and the prostitution is a big step in that direction.
Honestly, what do you think of that? Legalizing prostitution and legalizing gambling. I think it all should be legal. My theory is, and I hope don't mean no offense to anybody, if you want to pay for it, then more power to you. If you know that you might get this, that, or the other thing from paying for it, more power to you. If you want to go out and spend your money on a slot machine, who the hell is the government to say no? Where I grew up in Hull, Massachusetts, Nantasket Beach. Hi, everybody in Hull. Way back when, MGM Grand wanted to build a casino.
Right.
And the town selectmen voted it down, saying they didn't want the crime nor the prostitution. Right. Walt Disney was going to build, when he was alive, a Disney World 7-season Disney World resort in Hull. The selectmen voted down because they didn't want the prostitution and the crime. Meanwhile, the town is getting all decrepit. It's like, you know what? Maybe a little bit of prostitution might help the town. You know what I'm saying? Especially in Hull, where
yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Go look at the corner of the A Street sub shop. There's prostitution there. Trust me. That's where I got it my first time, was next to, you know.
Yeah, give me a slice of pizza
And a slice of Crystal, exactly. A slice of Bubbles, as, you know. Now, how do you like working for CNN and Nancy Grace, huh?
She's a little intimidating, I have to say.
Is she really?
She yells at you, and I wasn't, you know, I've been on O'Reilly, I've been on, you know, Fox, I've been on CNN, I've been on MSNBC. I've been yelled at by all sorts of people. She just takes it to a whole new level of just anger.
Do you know the thing about Nancy Grace is she always looks like she smells something.
Yeah.
See, she's always got those nostrils flared. So, Paul, I don't really like your views, but I smell something in the studio. You know what I mean? But yeah, to get you national exposure.
Sure.
You know? And tell us about your iHeartRadio gig.
Well, yeah, I mean that show. I started the show 4 years ago. It was all digital, similar to your show. I mean, it starts in a place, and now it's grown. It's on 14 stations across the country, syndicated.
Oh, nice, huh?
Yeah, I'm happy about that.
And trust me on this, I'm not throwing you out just yet, but trust me on this one, and I said it to you personally before, so I'm not blowing smoke up your tokas. There's going to be some point soon in radio worlds or in the media world, we call it syndication, and we call it nationally known. There's going to be someday very soon that you here watching the show, and you here in the audience, you're going to be sitting with somebody that's going to be really, really freaking huge in this meeting. No, seriously, man, I mean that. This guy right here, he's got his crap together.
I'm going to try.
You know what I want to do quickly? We haven't done this in a few shows. What's your beef right now? What's pissing you off right now?
What's pissing me off right now? Well, I would probably agree with the legalization of marijuana. Why not?
Oh, God bless you.
Why don't we start there? Let's have some common sense, right?
The money you can make off of that.
The money you can make. Yeah, I'm getting thumbs up from the band. That's always a bad sign. But, you know, you legalize it, you regulate it, you tax it, you know, in towns wherever you are across the country, you allow things like gambling, you allow things like prostitution. It could be regulated, it could be taxed. You could help build infrastructure, you could help build jobs in some of these places. And that's, I think a lot of people miss that connection.
You
That's pissing me off.
Thank you so much. Shelby, what's pissing you off right now?
You know what? I'm making myself. My own driving is just horrendous. So it was a little slick coming in today. So I'm coming up the on-ramp and I'm getting on the highway. And do you know what Tokyo drifting is? So first I myself, then I took my foot off the gas and realized back it up a little bit. So I think we all have to kind of, you know, we all think we're in control behind the wheel. You might want to.
Sibby thought that was your cologne. That's what you did. You crap.
Yeah,
see,
it's not good.
I thought you were using Charlie. Remember Charlie from when you were a little kid? Sibby, what's pissing you off today?
Oh, boy. Oh, man.
Rock roll.
All right. Has anyone ever driven down the street and they have directions and they have a special street they're looking for and the sign is blocked out by a tree limb or a bush? And you can't see the freaking thing, and you're driving up and down the highway. I saw a sign the other day that someone had actually manicured the bush around the sign, and the sign was stuck in the bush. Yeah. All right? Now, you know, I don't mind a thing stuck in the bush now and then, but I don't want my sign stuck in the bush.
You know what I mean?
I want to be able to see it so I can get to my destination.
Thank you so much. Very quickly, my beef is, you know what? Don't stare at me when I'm going grocery shopping and stuff like that. Let me explain something in just one sentence.